I woke up from my nap to find strangers boxing up my memories as if they were trash. My own son, Marcus, was directing the operation, while my daughter-in-law, Brooke's expensive new furniture was being hauled in through the front door. After 45 years of raising Marcus, I never imagined he would repay me with such betrayal. "What are you doing with my things?" I screamed, but my son wouldn't even look at me. It was his wife, Brooke Jensen, who answered with that fake smile of hers. "We're helping you move to Maplewood Assisted Living. We've already taken care of everything." "Helping me? I never agreed to go to any retirement home." "The doctor says you have dementia," she lied shamelessly. "You don't remember our conversations." It was a lie. I was perfectly fine, but it was her word against mine. As I watched my antique pieces being carried out, Brooke's ultra-expensive, brand-new leather sofas came rolling in, triumphant. "Since the house is going to be empty, we decided to come live here," she declared without a trace of shame. In that moment, I understood everything. This wasn't about my well-being. It was about my house, the house my husband and I bought with so much sacrifice, where we raised Marcus, and where we were truly happy. Welcome to Betty's Stories. I share new life stories here every day, and I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and liked my video. Now, let's jump back into my story. I'm sure you'll love it if you keep listening till the end. My name is Cecilia Lawson. I am 68 years old, and for 45 years, I thought I had raised a son. But on that day, I discovered I had merely nurtured a serpent. Marcus came into my life when I was 23. My husband and I couldn't have children, and when we saw that abandoned baby boy at the orphanage, we felt it was our destiny. I gave him everything. Every dollar I earned, every spare minute, every tear of joy and worry. When my husband passed away 5 years ago, I thought Marcus would be my rock in my old age. How wrong I was. Everything changed when he married Brooke. That woman blew into our lives like a hurricane of ambition and coldness. From day one, she saw me as an obstacle. To her, I was just an old woman occupying a house that was too big, too valuable in Midtown Atlanta. She started subtly, with comments about my age, my ability to live alone, and how dangerous it was for a woman my age to be in such a large house. She made me feel like a burden. Marcus, who used to defend me, began to change. Brooke's venomous words found fertile ground in his heart. He started treating me like an old piece of furniture, something inconvenient in his new married life. Visits became less frequent, calls were cut short, and whenever I needed him, he always had an excuse. But I remained the mother who forgives everything, the one who finds justifications for her children's cruelty. Until that damned day. I had taken my usual nap after lunch. I woke up to strange noises in the living room, unfamiliar voices, heavy footsteps, the sound of furniture dragging. I walked toward the room, and what I saw shattered my soul. There were men packing my belongings, my furniture, my memories, my family photographs. Everything was being shoved into boxes as if it were second-hand merchandise. And there was Marcus, directing the operation with a coldness that froze my blood. Brooke stood beside him, supervising with an unmistakable smile of victory. "This house is mine, and I am not going anywhere," I said, trembling with rage. "Mom, don't make this more difficult. Everything has been decided," Marcus replied, with a chilling indifference I didn't recognize. Brooke pulled some papers from her purse. "Your son has power of attorney over you. The doctor certified that you no longer have the capacity to make decisions." 45 years of raising an adopted son as if he were my own blood. I gave him my youth, my career, sacrificed my marriage for him, and now he was repaying me by kicking me out of my own home to steal it. But as I watched them load my belongings and unload Brooke's new furniture, I realized something. They had been planning this for months. Months during which I continued to cook their favorite dishes when they came to visit. Months during which I worried about their welfare while they plotted to rob me of my home. "When did you speak to any doctor?" I asked Marcus, but he avoided my gaze. "It doesn't matter, Mom. What matters is that you can't live alone anymore." "What doctor are you talking about? I've never gone to any doctor for an evaluation." Brooke approached me with that icy smile I hated so much. "Cecilia, don't get upset. It will be better for everyone. You'll be well cared for, and we can give this house the care it needs." The care it needs, as if I were a useless failure, incapable of maintaining my own home. The house where I had lived for 30 years, where I had raised my son, where I had mourned my husband's death. But they didn't know something that would change everything completely, something that would leave them speechless and powerless. As I watched them profane my home, I remembered the words of my late husband. "Cecilia, never trust anyone completely, not even family. Always have a plan B." In that moment, his words made perfect sense, because I had secrets that neither Marcus nor his serpent of a wife knew. But first, I needed to stop this farce. I pulled out my cell phone and dialed 911. "Police, I need to report a robbery at my address. They are taking my belongings without my consent." Brooke went white as a sheet. "Cecilia, what are you doing? Hang up that phone." "I am not demented," I shouted, "and this is my house. Nobody is kicking me out of here." Marcus rushed towards me, furious. "Mom, you're going to make a fool of yourself. Cancel that call." Make a fool of myself? More ridiculous than finding out my own son is robbing me of my house while I sleep? Within 15 minutes, 2 officers arrived, one young and one older, Officer Daniels, who reminded me of my late husband. They had that serious look of people who have seen too many family tragedies. "Ma'am, what seems to be the problem?" asked the older officer. "These men are taking my furniture without my authorization. My son says they are going to put me in a retirement home, but I never gave my consent." Brooke stepped forward with that manipulative smile she used on everyone. "Officer, my mother-in-law has memory problems. We have medical documentation certifying that she can no longer make decisions for herself." "Can you show me that documentation?" the officer asked. Brooke hesitated, searching nervously in her purse. It's at home. I didn't bring it because I didn't think it would be necessary." "Ma'am," the officer said, turning to me, "do you feel confused? Do you know where you are? What day is today?" "Officer, I am Cecilia Lawson. I am 68 years old. Today is Thursday. I have lived in this house for 30 years, and I am in perfect command of my mental faculties. What is happening is that my son wants to steal my house." The officer looked sternly at Marcus. "Sir, without the proper medical documentation and without a court order, you cannot force your mother to leave her property." "But officer," Marcus tried to protest. "No buts, sir. Ma'am, do you want these people to leave your house?" "Yes, please. And I want them to return all my furniture to its place." The officer addressed the movers. "Gentlemen, put everything back where it was. This move is canceled." Brooke was furious. Her perfect plan was crumbling. "This is ridiculous. She can't live alone." "Ma'am, that is not your decision," the officer replied. "Unless you have appropriate legal documentation, this lady has the right to live in her own home." While the movers were returning my furniture, Marcus approached me with a fury I had never seen in him. "Mom, you just ruined everything. We only wanted to help you." "Help me? By robbing my house, lying to the police about my mental health? You don't understand. This house is too big for you. It's a waste." "A waste. My home is a waste." Brooke jumped into the conversation. "Cecilia, be reasonable. You have a meager Social Security check. We can maintain this house. We can give it the value it deserves." "What Social Security check are you talking about? What money are you talking about?" "Oh, please, Cecilia. Everyone knows you barely have enough to eat. That's why you need to go to a place where they'll take care of you." There was Brooke's true face. To her, I was just a poor old woman occupying a valuable house. "You know what, Brooke? You're right about something. Not everyone knows many things." The officers left after making sure my furniture was back. Marcus and Brooke stayed, but without their arrogance. Something in my tone had alerted them. "Marcus," I said to my son, "do you really believe your mother is a poor, demented old woman?" "Mom, it's not that. It's not that." "Then why didn't you ask me before planning to steal my house?" Brooke crossed her arms. "It's not stealing, it's being practical. You don't need so much space." "You know what I don't need, Brooke? Ungrateful children, that's what I don't need. In that moment, something changed in me. 45 years of being the understanding mother, the one who forgives everything, the one who swallows humiliations for love. 45 years of putting him first before my own dignity. Marcus, I want you to leave now. Mom, don't say that. We can talk. Talk? Like when we talked about putting me in a home? Like when we talked about you keeping my house? Brooke let out a dismissive laugh. Cecilia, don't be dramatic. Everyone knows you're nothing without us. Nothing without you? Exactly. A lonely old woman, without money, without a future. We are doing you a favor. Marcus didn't stop her. He didn't defend me. He just stood there, letting his wife humiliate me in my own home. Is that what you think of me, Marcus? That I'm a useless old woman? Mom, it's not that, but what? But she's right. You can't handle this house alone, and we can help. Help. Always that word. As if robbing me of my home was help. As if humiliating me was help. All right, I said with a surprising calm. If that's what you really think of me, then act accordingly. What do you mean? Brooke asked. I mean that if you really believe I'm a poor, demented old woman, then you don't need anything from me ever again. Mom, don't be like this. Like what, Marcus? Dignified? With self-respect? Brooke approached with that fake smile. Cecilia, don't be difficult. You know we love you. You love me? That's how you show love? By planning to steal my house behind my back? It's not stealing! Shut up! I finally exploded. Shut up with your lies! Shut up with your falseness! Shut up with your hypocrisy! Silence filled the room. I had never yelled at them like that. I had never lost control. You know what, Brooke? You're right about one thing. I am an old woman, but I am not poor, and I am definitely not demented. What do you mean? Marcus asked. I mean that you know nothing about me, nothing about what I own, nothing about what I can do. Brooke laughed. Oh, Cecilia, don't be ridiculous. Everyone knows you barely have enough to get by. Everyone? Who is everyone? Well, us, your family. My family? The ones who were going to put me in a home without my consent? Marcus looked uncomfortable. Mom, we just wanted what was best for you. Best for me or best for you? Brooke lost patience. All right. Yes, we want the house. You don't need it. You can't afford to keep it up. I can't afford to keep it up? You think I live on a meager Social Security check? This house is falling apart because I don't have the money to fix it? Brooke, I said, with a smile that made her step back. You just made the biggest mistake of your life. The biggest mistake of my life? Telling the truth about your financial situation? Brooke scoffed. No, Brooke. Your biggest mistake was underestimating me. I pulled out my phone and played a recording. Her own voice filled the room. Marcus, your mother is a nuisance. That house is worth a fortune, and she's wasting it. We have to find a way to get her out of there. If we commit her for dementia, we can take everything. Brooke's face went white as paper. Marcus looked at me with wide eyes. You were recording us? For months, son. For months I listened to you plan to rob me of my house. For months I heard you talk about me as if I were an animal to be sacrificed. I played another recording. This time it was Marcus's voice. My mother is very stubborn, but if we can get a doctor to say she has dementia, we can commit her and take the house. She doesn't have the money to defend herself legally. How could you say that about me? I asked him, my heart breaking. How could you plan that against the woman who raised you? Marcus stammered. Mom, we didn't you? You weren't going to rob me? You weren't going to declare me demented? You didn't bring a moving truck while I slept? Brooke tried to regain control. Those recordings are illegal. They're worthless. Illegal? In my own home? Recording conversations about my own future? You can't use them against us. I can't? We'll see, Brooke. We'll see. I turned to Marcus. Son, I'm going to ask you once. Do you really believe your mother is a poor, demented old woman? Marcus looked at Brooke, then at me. His silence was all the answer I needed. "All right," I said calmly. "Then I'm going to act like the poor old woman you think I am." I reached into my bag and pulled out my checkbook. Not just any checkbook, a checkbook from Sterling Trust Bank, one of the most exclusive banks in the country. "Do you see this? This account has more money in it than you've seen in your entire lives." "That's impossible," Brooke murmured. "You live on a meager Social Security check." "Meager Social Security check?" I let out a laugh, Brooke. "I don't live on a Social Security check. I live on the rents from 3 properties I inherited from my husband, plus the stock market investments we made over 30 years. Marcus was speechless. "What properties?" "The downtown Atlanta condo tower apartment building, the cabin in the North Georgia mountains, and the corner commercial space that's leased to a major pharmacy. You never wondered where the money came from to maintain this house, too?" Brooke shook her head. "That's a lie. If you had money, we would have known." "You would have known? Why? Because I'm so foolish that I would share my finances with a greedy daughter-in-law?" I pulled out my phone and dialed a number. "Dr. Sterling, this is Cecilia Lawson. I need you to come to my house immediately." "Yes, now. Bring the documents from the psychological evaluation you performed on me last month." I hung up and looked at them. "In 1 hour, my psychologist will be here. The same one who completely evaluated me last month, because I knew you were planning something. Do you know the result? I have a clearer mind than many people in their 40s. Brooke started to get nervous. "That doesn't prove anything." "Doesn't prove anything? It proves you lied about my mental health. It proves your entire plan was based on lies." I played another recording. Brooke's voice again. "We just need to find a doctor who will say she's demented. With enough money, any doctor will sign whatever we need." "Where did you get those recordings?" Brooke screamed. "In my own house, Brooke. You talked about me as if I were a piece of furniture, as if I weren't present. For months you planned my destruction in my own living room." Marcus collapsed onto the sofa. "Mom, we didn't want to hurt you." "You didn't want to hurt me? Declaring me demented isn't hurting me? Robbing my house isn't hurting me? Committing me against my will isn't hurting me? We just wanted you to be safe." "Lie!" I exploded. "You just wanted my house. You just wanted to steal what took me 30 years to build." Brooke approached me, her face contorted with fury. "All right, yes, we want the house. You don't deserve it. You don't do anything productive with it." "I don't deserve it? The house I bought with my husband? The house where you were raised, Marcus? Mom, this house is too big for one person alone." "And that decision is yours?" "Yes!" Brooke shouted. "Because we are young. We can bring life to this house. We can have children here." "Children? You're going to have children in my stolen house? It's not stolen. It's justice. You've already lived your life." "I've already lived my life? At 68, I've already lived my life?" Marcus remained silent. He didn't defend me. He didn't contradict his wife. He just stood there, letting her humiliate me. "All right," I said with a calm that surprised even myself. "If you think I've already lived my life, then you don't need me for anything." "What do you mean?" Marcus asked. "I mean that from this moment on, you are alone. Completely alone. Mom, don't be dramatic." "Dramatic? Defending my dignity is dramatic?" Brooke laughed contemptuously. "Cecilia, you can have your tantrum. In the end, you know you need us more than we need you." "You need us? Of course you do. Who else do you have? Who else is going to take care of you when you really can't fend for yourself?" "Take care of me? Like you took care of me today? By robbing my house?" "It's not robbing, it's planning. It's being smart." "Smart? Lying is being smart?" Marcus finally spoke. "Mom, maybe we went about it the wrong way, but our intentions were good." "Good intentions? Planning to declare me demented had good intentions? You just wanted to secure your future." "My future, Marcus? You wanted to steal my future." At that moment, the doorbell rang. It was Dr. Sterling. "Doctor, thank you for coming. This is my son, Marcus, and his wife, Brooke. They believe I have dementia." Dr. Sterling, a serious man in his 50s, greeted them formally. "Pleased to meet you. I came because Ms. Lawson asked me to bring the results of her psychological evaluation. What evaluation? Brooke asked. The complete evaluation I gave her last month. Memory tests, cognitive functions, decision-making capacity, emotional stability. And what were the results? Marcus asked. Your mother has excellent mental health for her age. Her cognitive functions are above average. There are absolutely no signs of dementia or mental decline. Brooke went pale. That's impossible. Ma'am, I have all the studies right here. Your mother-in-law is perfectly capable of making all the decisions about her life. The doctor turned to me. Ms. Lawson, may I ask why you needed these documents? Doctor, my son and his wife tried to commit me to a retirement home, claiming I have dementia. They brought a moving truck while I was asleep. Dr. Sterling looked at them sternly. You did that without a prior medical evaluation? Marcus and Brooke were silent. Sirs and ma'am, attempting to commit a person without appropriate medical documentation can constitute a crime. Doctor, I said firmly, I need these documents to be officially registered because this will not end here. After Dr. Sterling left, leaving certified copies of my psychological evaluation, the house fell into a heavy silence. Marcus and Brooke looked at me as if they had seen a ghost. I don't understand, Marcus murmured. If you have money, if you're mentally well, why do you live so simply? Simply? That's what you think of how I live? Mom, you never told us about properties, about investments. And why would I? So Brooke could plan to steal everything from me from day one? Brooke exploded. I am not a thief. No? Then what is planning to declare me demented to take my house? That's different. Different how? It's justice. We are young. We can do something productive with this house. Justice. Robbing an old woman is justice. Marcus approached. Mom, maybe we can fix this. We can find a solution that works for everyone. A solution that works for everyone? Like this morning's solution? No, Mom, I'm serious. Maybe we can share the house. I let out a bitter laugh that came from the depths of my wounded soul. Share the house with the people who recorded themselves planning to rob me? With the people who brought a moving truck while I slept? Can we start over? Marcus, you betrayed me in the most vile way possible. Brooke crossed her arms. Cecilia, don't be spiteful. This was all a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? 45 days of planning my confinement was a misunderstanding? 45 days, Marcus asked. Yes, son, 45 days. Since I started recording your conversations. 45 days of listening to you plan my destruction. I pulled out my phone and played another recording. Brooke's voice. Marcus, your mother is like an old dog. She's served her purpose. Now she's just in the way. Old dogs need to be put down. Marcus went pale. Brooke, you said that? I was angry. I didn't mean it. You didn't mean it? Comparing your mother-in-law to a dog that needs to be put down? You didn't mean it? Cecilia, you provoked us. You are impossible to deal with. I provoked you? How did I provoke you? By living in my own house? I played another recording. This time, Marcus's voice. My mother has always been selfish. She thinks everything belongs to her. It's time she learned that life goes on without her. Marcus covered his face with his hands. Mom, You what, Marcus? Are you going to say you didn't mean it? I was frustrated. Frustrated? Why? Because I didn't die quickly so you could inherit? Don't say that. Don't say what? The truth? The truth about what you really think of me? Brooke tried to take control of the situation. Cecilia, we all said things in the heat of the moment, but that doesn't mean we don't love you. You love me? That's how you show love? Love sometimes requires difficult decisions. Difficult decisions. Robbing me is a decision of love? It's not robbing, it's taking care of you. Taking care of me? Declaring me demented is taking care of me? Marcus stood up. Mom, accept that maybe we were wrong about the method, but our intentions... Marcus, I exploded, stop talking about intentions. Your intentions were to rob me of my house. I raised you. I gave you everything. I have the right to expect something in return. There it was, the naked truth. After 45 years, I finally knew my son's true feelings. Right to expect something in return? Yes, I sacrificed my youth raising you. You sacrificed your career, all that must be worth something. Must be worth something? You think being a mother is an investment? It's reality. Parents take care of children, and then children take care of their parents. Take care of me? Robbing me is taking care of me? Brooke jumped into the conversation. Cecilia, let's be realistic. You can't enjoy this house the way we could. I can't enjoy it? Look at you. You live alone. You don't have a social life. You don't throw parties. You don't use all the rooms. And that gives you the right to rob me? It's not robbing, it's optimizing resources. Optimizing resources. That's what I am to you, a resource to optimize. Marcus sighed. Mom, we can't keep going like this. We have to find a solution. You're right, Marcus. We have to find a solution. I went to the landline phone and dialed a number I knew by heart. Attorney Chen, this is Cecilia Lawson. I need to see you tomorrow, first thing in the morning. Yes, it's urgent. I want to completely change my will. I hung up. The horror on their faces gave me a satisfaction I hadn't felt in years. What will? Brooke asked. The will where Marcus inherited everything when I died. Mom, you can't do that. I can't. I can't dispose of my own assets. I'm your son. You are my son, but you are also the person who planned to rob me of everything while I was still alive. Brooke approached, desperate. Cecilia, think it over. We are your family. My family? The family that was going to commit me against my will? We can change. We can be better. You can change? After 45 days of planning my destruction? You can change. Marcus fell to his knees. Mom, please forgive me. I didn't know what I was doing. You didn't know? You didn't know that bringing a moving truck while I slept was wrong? I thought it was for the best. For the best for whom, Marcus? For me or for you? He fell silent again. His silence was all the answer I needed. All right, I said with a tranquility that surprised me. If you really believe I'm an old woman who can no longer decide about her life, then I'm going to act accordingly. What do you mean? Brooke asked. I mean that starting tomorrow, you're going to find out what it's like to lose everything. Mom, you can't leave us with nothing. With nothing? Like you were going to leave me? That's different. No, Brooke, it's not different. It's exactly the same. Brooke exploded again. Cecilia, let's be realistic. You're 68 years old. How many more years are you going to live? 10? 15 if you're lucky. And that gives you the right to rob me of those years? It's not robbing, it's the law of life. According to whom? According to nature. The young replace the old. Replace them or murder them? Silence filled the room. I had finally put into words what was really happening. They didn't want to take care of me. They wanted to kill me socially to steal my life. All right, I said, standing up. If that's the law of life according to you, then we're going to play by those rules. What do you mean by playing by those rules? Marcus asked nervously. I mean that if you can plan my destruction for months, I can plan yours too. Brooke laughed contemptuously. Plan our destruction? Cecilia, don't be ridiculous. What can you do against us? What can I do? You're about to see. I went to my bedroom and took out a suitcase. I started packing some basic things while they followed me like confused dogs. What are you doing? Marcus asked. I'm leaving. You're leaving? Where to? That is none of your business. Brooke crossed her arms. You're leaving your own house out of spite. I'm not leaving out of spite. I'm leaving because I need space to plan. Plan what? Your complete destruction. Marcus became frantic. Mom, don't say that. We're family. Family. The family that was going to commit me by force. I finished packing and closed the suitcase. I looked at both of them with a coldness I had never felt before. You know what the saddest thing about all this is? That I truly loved you, that I truly believed you were my family. We are your family, Marcus insisted. No, family doesn't betray. Family doesn't steal. Family doesn't plan the destruction of its own members. Brooke let out another laugh. Cecilia, you can have your drama. In the end, you know you'll come back. Where else can you go? Where else can I go? I pulled out my phone and dialed a number. The St. Regis, Atlanta. I need the presidential suite for tonight. Yes, the $1,000 a night suite under the name Cecilia Lawson. Brooke's face changed completely. $1,000 a night? Anything else? The receptionist asked. Yes, I need private chauffeur service and reserve the corner table at the restaurant for tomorrow at noon. I hung up and looked at them. They thought I was going to a cheap motel. Marcus was confused. Mom, where are you going to get money for that? Where am I going to get money, Marcus? Do you really think your mother is so poor? But you've always lived so normal. Normal? Or I'm simply not as ostentatious as Brooke. Brooke was pale. How much money do you really have? How much do I have? Enough to destroy you completely. That's impossible. Impossible? Like it was impossible for me to have recordings of you? Like it was impossible for me to have a psychologist evaluating me? I picked up my suitcase and headed for the door. You know what you're going to do now? You're going to stay in this house, wondering what else you don't know about me. Mom, don't leave like this, Marcus pleaded. Don't leave like this? Like you were going to kick me out this morning? That's different. Different how? Because you planned it with malice, and I'm doing it in self-defense. Brooke approached, desperate. Cecilia, can we talk? We can fix this. Fix this? Like you fixed the false doctor business? He wasn't a false doctor. No? Then where is he? Why didn't he come with you? They fell silent. Another lie uncovered. You know what hurts the most? That for 45 years I thought I had raised an honorable man, but today I discovered I raised a liar and a thief. Marcus started to cry. Mom, forgive me. I didn't know what I was doing. You didn't know, Marcus? You recorded a video saying I should be declared demented. You didn't know that was wrong? What video? He asked, alarmed. Ah, you didn't know I also have videos? You thought I only had audio. His face completely collapsed. What videos do you have? I have the video where you and Brooke practice how you were going to convince the doctor I'm demented. I have the video where Brooke counts my money on the table, calculating how much you can steal. I have the video where you plan to sell my jewelry. Brooke collapsed onto a chair. That can't be true. It can't be true? Like it couldn't be true that I had money? I pulled out my phone and showed them a video. There they were, the two of them in my own living room, practicing the conversation with the supposed doctor. Doctor, do you believe my mother has the capacity to make decisions? Marcus rehearsed. No, she's obviously demented, Brooke replied, laughing. Look how an old woman lives alone in such a big house. It's obvious she's not right in the head. I paused the video. You see? You not only planned to rob me, you mocked me while doing it. Marcus couldn't speak. Tears streamed down his cheeks, but they no longer moved me. For 45 years, his tears had moved me, but on that day, something in my heart broke forever. Marcus, do you know what my worst mistake as a mother was? What? He murmured. Raising you without limits, giving you everything without teaching you the value of anything. Mom, for 45 years, I believed unconditional love meant giving a child everything. But today, I understood that unconditional love must have limits, because without limits, children turn into monsters. Brooke stood up, furious. We are not monsters. We just wanted to secure our future. Your future? By robbing mine? It's not robbing. It's anticipated inheritance. Anticipated inheritance? Is that what you call theft now? Cecilia, let's be realistic. You're going to die before us. It's logical that we inherit. It's logical? According to whom? According to nature. Parents die and children inherit, and that gives you the right to speed up the process? Marcus finally spoke. Mom, we never wanted to hurt you. You never wanted to hurt me? Declaring me demented isn't hurting me? Robbing my house isn't hurting me? Committing me against my will isn't hurting me? We thought it was for the best. Marcus, stop lying. You thought it was for the best for you. All right, Brooke exploded. Yes, we thought about ourselves, but that's not wrong. We have the right to think about our future. You have the right at the expense of my destruction? It's not destruction, it's redistribution. Redistribution of my assets without my consent? Always my consent? What about our rights? Your rights? What rights do you have over my assets? The rights of family, the rights of children. Rights of children? Children have the right to rob their parents? It's not robbing. Then what is it? It's justice. There was that word again. Justice, as if robbing me were a noble act. Do you know what true justice really is? I asked them, walking toward the door. What? Marcus asked. That you are going to lose everything. Absolutely everything. What do you mean? I mean that tomorrow you are going to start paying for what you did. You can't leave us with nothing, Brooke screamed. With nothing? Like you were going to leave me? That's different. No, Brooke, it's not different. It's exactly the same. I left the house without looking back. For the first time in 45 years, I closed the door of my home knowing I might never return. But strangely, I didn't feel sadness. I felt freedom. The chauffeur from the St. Regis Atlanta picked me up in a black Mercedes. As we drove away from the house, I saw Marcus and Brooke standing in the doorway in the rearview mirror, watching me leave as if they had seen a ghost. Where to, ma'am? The chauffeur asked. To the bank, the Sterling Trust Bank downtown branch. During the ride, I pulled out my phone and made the first call of my new life. Attorney Chen, this is Cecilia Lawson. I need to speed up our appointment. Can you see me today? Excellent. I'll be there in 2 hours. The second call was to the bank manager. Mr. Rodriguez, this is Cecilia Lawson. I need to access my safe deposit box and make some major transfers. Yes, today. The third call was the most important. Attorney Torres, this is Cecilia Lawson. I need to hire your legal services immediately. Do you remember the family fraud case you won last year? Exactly. I have something similar. When we arrived at the bank, the manager was personally waiting for me. That's what happens when you have 7-figure accounts. Ms. Lawson, how can we help you? I need to transfer funds and access my safe deposit box. They escorted me to the VIP area. When I opened my safe deposit box, I took out documents Marcus and Brooke had never seen, property deeds, investment certificates, insurance policies, and most importantly, a sealed envelope with very specific instructions. Mr. Rodriguez, I want you to freeze all accounts where my son Marcus is listed as a beneficiary. All of them, ma'am, all of them. And I want to change all the beneficiaries on my life insurance policies. In whose name do you want to make the changes? The Elder Dignity and Advocacy Foundation. The manager looked surprised but asked no questions. When you have money, people don't question your decisions. An hour later, I was in the office of Attorney Chen, my trusted lawyer. Cecilia, what happened? You sound different. I told him everything. I showed him the recordings, the videos, the psychologist's documents. His face shifted from surprise to indignation to pure fury. This is attempted aggravated fraud. It's elder abuse. It's conspiracy to commit crimes. What can we do legally? We can destroy them, Cecilia. Literally destroy them. How? First, we file a criminal complaint for attempted fraud and elder abuse. Second, we file a civil lawsuit for emotional damages. Third, we request restraining orders to protect your assets. And the will, we change it completely. Marcus receives not a penny. But he's still my legal adopted son. Yes, but that doesn't give him an automatic right to inheritance if you don't want him to. Perfect. Change everything. After signing the new documents, I headed to the hotel. The presidential suite was exactly what I needed: luxury, privacy, and space to plan. That night, I couldn't sleep, not because of sadness, but because of a strange feeling of liberation. For the first time in 45 years, my decisions were completely my own. The next morning, my phone rang. It was Marcus. "Mom, where are you? We're worried." "Worried? Like you were worried yesterday when you brought the moving truck?" "Mom, can we talk? Can we fix this? Fix this? How? We can apologize. We can change. Apologize? 45 days of planning my destruction is fixed with an apology? Mom, please, we're family. Marcus, family doesn't betray. You are not my family. You are strangers who lived in my house. You can't say that? I can't? Who forbids me? You? The same one who planned to declare me demented? I hung up and turned off my phone. I had more important things to do. My first stop was the most exclusive premium real estate agency in Buckhead. I wanted to send a message, and I knew exactly how to do it. I need to see houses in exclusive Buckhead, I told the agent. What price range are you looking at, ma'am? Between $2 and $5 million. The agent, an elegant woman in her 40s, completely changed her demeanor. Of course, ma'am, I have several excellent options. As we reviewed the options in her office, I heard familiar voices at the reception. It was Marcus and Brooke. We need to sell a house urgently, Marcus was saying. What kind of property? The receptionist asked. A house in Midtown Atlanta, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Is the property yours? The receptionist asked. It's my mother's, but she gave me authorization. A lie, as always. I got up from my chair and walked toward the reception. Marcus's face when he saw me was priceless. Marcus, what are you doing here? Mom, we trying to sell my house? The receptionist looked at us, confused. It's her house, ma'am, completely mine, and this man has no authorization whatsoever to sell it. Brooke approached nervously. Cecilia, what a coincidence running into you here. Coincidence? Or are you following me? Not following you. Just what? Just trying to sell my house behind my back? The agent attending to me approached. Ms. Lawson, is everything all right? Everything's perfect. I just wanted these people to know that I'm buying a new house. Buying a new house? Marcus asked, alarmed. Yes, a $5 million one. Does that sound good, son? Brooke's face collapsed. $5 million? Where are you going to get $5 million? Where am I going to get it? From my savings, Brooke. From the savings you thought didn't exist. That's impossible. Impossible? Like it was impossible for me to have recordings? The agent was looking at us as if she were watching a live soap opera. Ms. Lawson, she said, do you want me to call security? It's not necessary. These people are leaving now. Marcus approached, desperate. Mom, you have to listen to us. I have to listen to you? Like you listened to me yesterday when I told you I didn't want to leave my house? That's different. No, Marcus, it's not different. It's exactly the same. Brooke exploded. Cecilia, you can't spend $5 million on a house? That's family money. Family money? My money is family money? Yes, because when you die, it will be ours. When I die? Who says you're going to inherit anything when I die? Brooke's face went white. What do you mean? I mean that yesterday I changed my will. You can't do that, Marcus shouted. I'm your son. I have rights. Rights. The same rights you respected yesterday when you brought the moving truck? The agent coughed uncomfortably. Sir and ma'am, perhaps you should have this conversation in private. No, I said firmly. This conversation is very public because I want everyone to know what kind of son I have. Mom, don't do this. Don't do what? Don't defend myself? Don't protect my dignity like you didn't protect my home? Brooke approached, her face contorted with fury. Cecilia, if you change that will, you're going to regret it. I'm going to regret it? Are you threatening me? I'm warning you. Warning me about what? That without us, you're nothing? I laughed, a laugh that came from the depths of my liberated soul. Without you, I'm nothing, Brooke? Yesterday, I discovered that with you, I was nothing. Today, I discovered that without you, I am everything. Without us, you're everything? Brooke scoffed. Let's see how long you last alone, Cecilia. How long I last alone? Longer than you'll last without my money. At that moment, my phone rang. It was Attorney Torres. Cecilia, I have news. The criminal complaint has been filed. I also secured the restraining orders. Neither of them can go near your house or your bank accounts. I put the phone on speaker so everyone could hear. What restraining orders? Marcus asked. The orders that protect victims of family fraud, the lawyer replied. Sir, you and your wife are prohibited from approaching my client's properties. That's ridiculous, Brooke shouted. That's the family house. It was the family house, the lawyer corrected. Now it's evidence in a case of attempted fraud. Fraud? Marcus murmured. They're accusing us of fraud? Attempted aggravated fraud, elder abuse, and conspiracy to commit crimes, the lawyer enumerated. Do you want me to read you the articles of the Penal Code? Marcus's face completely collapsed. Mom, you can't do this. I'm your son. You are my son, but you are also a criminal. I'm not a criminal. No. Then what do you call planning to declare me demented to steal my house? The real estate agent stared at us, wide-eyed. This was better than any soap opera. Attorney Torres, I said into the phone. When is the hearing? In 1 week. But Cecilia, there's something else. I reviewed the documents you sent me. The supposed power of attorney they had is completely fake. Fake? How? It's poorly drafted. It doesn't have the correct signatures, and the notary listed on the document died 2 years ago. Brooke went pale. That can't be true. It can't be true? Like it couldn't be true that I was recording you? Marcus collapsed onto a chair. Mom, we didn't know the document was wrong. You didn't know, or you knew perfectly well it was fake? We paid an attorney to do it. What attorney? Him. Attorney Garcia. Garcia? The same Garcia who was expelled from the State Bar Association last year for falsifying documents? Marcus fell silent. Another lie uncovered. Attorney Torres, I said into the phone. Does that aggravate the charges? Considerably. Use of a false document can carry 5 to 10 years in prison. Prison? Brooke screamed. Cecilia, you can't send us to prison. I can't? Who forbids me? We're family. Family doesn't falsify documents to steal. Marcus approached, crying. Mom, forgive me. It was all Brooke's idea. I didn't want to hurt you. All Brooke's idea? Did Brooke force you to say it was time for me to learn that life goes on without me? He fell silent. I had the recordings of everything. Marcus, for 45 years, I thought you were an honorable man, but today I discovered you are a coward who blames his wife for his own decisions. I'm not a coward. No? Then why didn't you defend me when Brooke compared me to a dog that needs to be put down? You laughed along with her. Brooke approached, furious. That's enough, Cecilia. You're going to stop this madness right now. You're going to force me? Like you forced me out of my house yesterday? We're going to sue you. You're going to sue me? With what money? With the money you thought you were going to steal from me? The agent cleared her throat uncomfortably. Sir and ma'am, I think you should continue this conversation elsewhere. No, I said firmly. I want everyone to know what kind of people they are. At that moment, other clients entered the real estate office, a young couple who clearly recognized the scandal. Is everything all right? The man asked. Everything's perfect, I replied. I'm just explaining to my son why he won't be inheriting anything anymore. The young woman looked at me sympathetically. Your son tried to defraud you? He tried to declare me demented to steal my house. My God, the woman exclaimed. How can a son do that? Brooke exploded. This is none of your business. It is our business, the woman replied. Ma'am, we're with you. My grandmother went through the same thing. Marcus covered his face with his hands. Mom, this is humiliating. Humiliating? How was it humiliating for me to wake up and find strangers packing my memories? That's different. No, Marcus, it's not different. It's exactly the same. The young man addressed Marcus. Sir, did you really try to rob your mother of her house? I didn't try to rob anything, Marcus defended himself. No? Then what is bringing a moving truck while she slept? Marcus didn't know how to respond. The woman approached me. Ma'am, do you need help? Do you want us to call someone? Thank you, my dear, but I have everything under control. Control? Brooke scoffed. Cecilia, you don't control anything. You're making a fool of yourself. I'm making a fool of myself? Defending my dignity is making a fool of myself? You're destroying your own family. I am not destroying anything. You destroyed the family when you decided to betray me. We didn't betray you. You didn't betray me? 45 days of planning to rob me isn't betrayal? The young couple was indignant. 45 days? The woman asked. 45 days, I confirmed. I have recordings of everything. I pulled out my phone and played one of the most damaging recordings. Brooke's voice filled the real estate office. Marcus, your mother is a nuisance. She's served her purpose. Now she's just taking up valuable space. The young couple looked at me with horror. That's your daughter-in-law? She was my daughter-in-law, I corrected. Now she's a stranger who tried to rob me. The man addressed Brooke with contempt. Ma'am, how can you say that about the woman who raised your husband? You don't understand, Brooke defended herself. She's impossible to deal with. Impossible to deal with? Why? For living in her own house? For being selfish? For not thinking of us? Not thinking of you? The young woman asked. She has to think of you before herself? We're family. The family that was going to commit her by force, I added. By force? The man asked. With fake documents, I confirmed. Documents they falsified to declare me demented. That's a crime, the woman exclaimed. That's why I've already filed the criminal complaint, I explained. Marcus stood up, desperate. Mom, please stop this. We can solve it privately. Privately? Like you solved the robbery of my house privately? It wasn't robbery. It wasn't robbery. Then what was it? It was taking care of you. The young woman laughed in disbelief. Taking care of her by robbing her house? You don't understand the situation. We understand perfectly, the man replied. You tried to rob an elderly woman. Brooke exploded. Cecilia, if you don't stop this, you're going to regret it. I'm going to regret it? Are you threatening me again? I'm warning you. The young couple became alarmed. She's threatening her? The woman asked. Constantly, I replied. Yesterday, they threatened to commit me by force. That's not a threat, Brooke shouted. It's reality. You can't live alone. I can't live alone. Who decides that? You? Logic decides it. Your logic. The same logic that says robbing is fine. At that moment, my phone rang again. It was my lawyer. Cecilia, I have more news. The investigation revealed that they tried to bribe a doctor into signing a false dementia certificate. I put the phone on speaker again. Bribing a public official? Exactly. That adds another 5 years in prison to the charges. Marcus collapsed. Mom, please forgive me. I didn't know it would go this far. You didn't know? When did you decide it had gone too far? When you brought the moving truck? When you falsified the documents? When you tried to bribe the doctor? I thought we were going to stop before that. Stop before what? Before completely robbing me? I repeated, looking at Marcus with contempt. At what point in the robbery was it acceptable to stop? Mom, I never wanted it to go this far. As far as what, Marcus? As far as falsifying documents? As far as bribing doctors? As far as bringing a moving truck while I slept? The young couple continued to listen, horrified. The woman approached me. Ma'am, do you need us to call the police? Thank you, my dear, but everything is already in the hands of justice. Brooke became hysterical. Cecilia, you can't destroy our lives over a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? 45 days of planning my destruction is a misunderstanding. We only wanted to help you. Help me by robbing my house? It's not robbing, the young woman exploded. Ma'am, stop saying it's not robbing. Obviously, it's robbing. Brooke turned on her, furious. Don't interfere. This is a family matter. Family matter? You tried to rob an elderly woman. That is everyone's business. She is not a defenseless old woman. No? Then why did you try to declare her demented? Brooke was speechless. Every question sank her deeper. My phone rang again. This time it was the bank manager. Ms. Lawson, I have important information. They tried to access your bank accounts using false documents. When? I asked on speaker. This morning, a man who identified himself as your son and a woman claiming to be your daughter-in-law. Marcus and Brooke went pale. "What documents did they present?" I asked. "A false power of attorney and a medical certificate that supposedly proved your mental incapacity. And what did you do?" "We rejected them immediately and reported the attempted fraud to the authorities." Marcus collapsed into a chair. "Mom, we just what? Just tried to steal my money from the bank? We just wanted to make sure you were well cared for by robbing my money." The young couple was indignant. "They tried to steal her money from the bank?" the man asked. "This very morning," I confirmed, "while I was here buying a new house." "My God!" the woman exclaimed. "They are professional criminals." "Apparently," I replied, "though very bad at their job." Brooke exploded again. "Cecilia, we are not criminals. We were just desperate." "Desperate for what? For money? We have debts. We need that house." There it was. Finally, the naked truth. "You have debts?" "Yes," Marcus murmured. "Big debts." "How much?" $40,000. $40,000? You were going to steal my $2 million house to pay $40,000 in debt? It's not just that, Brooke murmured. "What else?" "Marcus lost his job 6 months ago." Another lie uncovered. "He lost his job and you never told me? You didn't want to worry me. You didn't want to worry me, but you did want to rob me of my house. It was only temporary," Brooke shouted. "Just until he found another job? Temporary? Committing me to a home was temporary? We could take you out later." Take me out of a home where I had been committed for dementia? How were you going to prove I was no longer demented? They fell silent. Their plan had no turning back. The young woman approached Brooke. "Ma'am, are you hearing what you're saying? You planned to destroy this woman's life for money. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. You are thieves. We are not thieves." "No. Then what are you?" Marcus stood up, crying. "Mom, forgive me. I was desperate. I couldn't find a job. The debts were drowning us." "And your first solution was to rob me? You didn't know what else to do? You didn't think of asking me for help? Brooke said you wouldn't help us. Brooke said. So you didn't even ask me? She said you were too selfish." "Selfish? The woman who raised you for 45 years is selfish? That's what she told me." Brooke became furious. "Don't blame me. You wanted the house too, because you convinced me. I didn't convince you of anything. You yourself said your mother was a nuisance." There they were, fighting among themselves, blaming each other. The perfect robbery had turned into a civil war. "You know what the saddest thing is?" I told them. "If you had asked me for help, I would have given you the money to pay off your debts." Marcus looked at me with tearful eyes. "Really? Really? But instead of asking me for help, you decided to destroy me. We didn't want to destroy you." "No? Then what is declaring me demented? What is committing me against my will? What is robbing my house? We just wanted a solution." "A solution? Destroying your mother is a solution?" The young couple was increasingly indignant. "How old are you?" the woman asked. 45, Marcus replied. 45 years old, and you needed to rob your mother? Shameful." "You don't understand our situation." "I understand you are parasites," the man shouted. "My mother is 70 years old and supports herself. Your mother isn't in our situation." "Your situation? What situation? Being adults who can't solve their problems without stealing?" Brooke exploded. "That's enough, Cecilia. You're going to stop this humiliation right now." "You're going to force me? This is too much. But robbing my house wasn't too much? That's different." "No, Brooke, it's not different. It's exactly the same." At that moment, an older, elegantly dressed man entered the real estate office. He was the owner of the company, Mr. Harrison. "What's going on here?" he asked authoritatively. The agent approached nervously. "Mr. Harrison, there's a family situation." "What situation?" The young woman stepped forward. These people tried to rob their mother of her house. They were going to commit her by force to take her properties. Mr. Harrison looked at me respectfully. "Is that true, ma'am?" "Completely true. I have recordings, videos, and documents to prove it. And you are our client. I am buying a $5 million house." His attitude changed completely. "Ms. Lawson, I sincerely regret that you have had to go through this situation in our office." He turned to Marcus and Brooke with contempt. "Sirs and ma'am, I am going to ask you to leave immediately." "You can't kick us out," Brooke protested. "We can. This is a private business, and we do not want clients who try to rob their own mothers." "We're not clients. We came to sell a property." "A property that doesn't belong to them," I clarified. "My house." Mr. Harrison called security. "Please escort these people out of the building." "This is unfair," Marcus shouted. "Mom, tell them we're family." "You were family," I corrected. "Now you are strangers who tried to rob me." As security escorted them toward the exit, Brooke screamed at me, "Cecilia, you're going to regret this. Without us, you're nothing." "Without you," I replied with a smile, "I am free." The door closed behind them, and for the first time in 45 years, I felt a truly peaceful silence. After they left, the silence in the real estate office felt like a blessing. The young couple approached me with genuinely worried faces. "Ma'am, are you okay?" the woman asked tenderly. "For the first time in months, I'm perfectly fine." "Do you need us to accompany you somewhere?" the man offered. "Thank you, my dears, but I have everything under control." Mr. Harrison approached respectfully. "Ms. Lawson, I deeply regret what you just witnessed. Do you want to continue viewing properties?" "Of course, life goes on." And so it did. I chose a beautiful house in exclusive Buckhead, 3 floors, a private garden, a panoramic view of the city. I paid for it in cash that very afternoon. A week later, the legal hearing took place. Marcus and Brooke arrived with a public defender, while I had the best law firm in the city, attorney Vanessa Torres. The recordings, the videos, the fake documents, everything was presented as evidence. The judge did not hesitate to issue a sentence for the crimes of attempted aggravated fraud, elder abuse, falsification of documents, and bribery of a public official. I sentenced Marcus Lawson to 5 years in prison and Brooke Jensen to 4 years in prison. Marcus collapsed, crying. "Mom, forgive me. I didn't want it to come to this." I looked at him one last time. "Marcus, for 45 years, I thought I had raised an honorable man. Today I understand that I failed as a mother." "You didn't fail. I failed." "No, son. I failed because I taught you that love has no limits. But today, I learned that love without limits creates monsters." "I'm not a monster." "No? Then what is planning the destruction of the person who raised you?" Brooke screamed from her seat. "Cecilia, this is your fault. If you had been generous from the beginning." "My fault? Is it my fault that you were thieves? We just wanted what belonged to us. Belonged to you according to whom? According to the law of life. The law of life says children care for their parents, not that they rob them." The judge struck his gavel. "Order in the court. The convicted will be transferred immediately." As they were being led away in handcuffs, Marcus looked at me one last time. "Mom, will you be able to forgive me someday?" "Marcus, forgiveness is for those who repent. You only regret being discovered." And it was true. Until the end, he never admitted he had been wrong. He only regretted the consequences. 3 months later, I settled into my new house. It was perfect. Bright, spacious, with a garden where I could finally plant the roses I always wanted. One day while watering my flowers, my neighbor, an elegant woman in her 60s named Angela, stopped by. "Cecilia, can I ask you something personal? Is it true your son tried to steal your previous house?" "It is true. And how did you manage to get through it? How did you find the strength to face them?" "You know what I discovered, Angela? That for years I confused love with permissiveness. I thought loving a child meant giving them everything without limits. And what do you think now? Now I understand that true love sets boundaries. True love protects dignity, not destroys it." Angela nodded thoughtfully. "My daughter also constantly pressures me to give her money." "Pressures or demands?" "Demands. She says that since she's my daughter, she has a right." "Angela, children don't have the right to destroy their parents. They have a right to love, care, and education. but they don't have a right to their parents' assets while the parents are still alive. Do you think I'm being too permissive? Only you can answer that. But ask yourself, does your daughter respect you or use you? Angela was thoughtful. A few weeks later, she told me she had set clear boundaries with her daughter. The relationship improved considerably. A year later, I received a letter in prison. It was from Marcus. Mom, I've had time to reflect. I think I finally understand what I did. I didn't just try to steal your house. I tried to steal your dignity, your peace, your right to live as you wanted. I know I lost the right to call you Mom. I just wanted you to know that I finally understand that what we did was unforgivable. I didn't reply. Some wounds are too deep to heal. 2 years later, Brooke was released from prison. Marcus was still serving his sentence. She tried to contact me several times, but I never returned her calls. Today, at 71 years old, I live in peace. My new house became my sanctuary. I have a beautiful garden, true friends like Angela, and a tranquility I hadn't felt in decades. Do I regret reporting Marcus? No, because I finally understood that protecting my dignity is not selfishness. It is survival. I miss my son. I miss the son I thought he was, but I don't miss the man he turned out to be. I founded the Elder Dignity and Advocacy Foundation, where all my estate will go when I die. Every week, I receive letters from families where children try to abuse their elderly parents. I give them the same advice I gave myself. True love does not accept humiliation. Yesterday, while watering my roses, I thought about everything I had lived through. The 45 years of motherhood without limits, the betrayal that taught me to value myself, the loneliness that turned out to be freedom. My husband once told me, "Cecilia, never trust anyone completely. Always have a plan B." For years, I thought that was cynicism. Today, I understand it was wisdom. Am I a cruel mother for sending my son to prison? Or am I finally a mother who learned to respect herself? I believe I am a woman who learned that kindness without limits is self-destruction, that love without dignity is masochism, and that forgiving everything is not a virtue. It is complicity. Marcus will have to live with the consequences of his decisions, as I live with mine. But there is a fundamental difference. My decisions brought me peace. His brought him prison. Every morning, I wake up in my new house, in my new bed, with my new life. I am no longer the mother who swallowed humiliations for love. I am no longer the old woman who accepted scraps of respect. I am Cecilia. I am 71 years old. I have money, health, dignity, and peace. And most importantly, I have boundaries. I don't regret adopting him. I only regret not understanding sooner that kindness should never be practiced at the cost of self-destruction, because in the end, the most important lesson I learned is this: you cannot save someone who is determined to destroy you, not even if that someone is your own child. And with that lesson, I finally found the peace I had sought for 71 years of life. I'm really glad you're here and that I could share my story with you. If you liked it, show me by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. Let's see how many of us there are. Write in the comments which city you're watching from and what time it is. I'm so curious to know where all you wonderful people are tuning in from. If you want to support me a little extra, you can also send a small donation. I share new life stories for you every single day. And now, 2 of my most popular stories will pop up on the screen so you can choose what to watch next.